Hello, investors. Welcome to the channel where I use technical analysis to find possible swing trades. Before I get started, I'd like to make it clear I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I say is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes. Technical indicators like those I use are not 100% accurate because the fundamentals of a company and macroeconomic factors can drive share price changes differently than what we might expect based on technical indicators. My goal with this channel is just to bring these companies to your attention so you can decide for yourself whether or not they're good investments for you. So if you plan on investing, please do your own due diligence before purchasing shares in any company or consult with a financial advisor. Today, we are taking a look at Amazon. I don't think Amazon needs much of an introduction. It is one of the world's largest companies. It is one of the newly termed Magnificent Seven, those 7 large tech companies that are holding up the market at the moment. The market cap is $1.25 trillion or so, depending on what the share price does that day. And we're looking at Amazon as a possible shorting opportunity, which I perfectly well know is probably controversial. And here we are on the annual chart. And if you are a Amazon bull, I'd ask you to simply humor me for a bit. First thing you'll notice is the 200-day moving average is sloping down pretty clearly. Although that it does seem to have leveled off a bit in the last few months, it is still definitely downward. We have the share price well above all 3 major moving averages. It seems to have reached a peak, and here, what I'm going to do is switch back to a 10-year chart so you can just see one interesting thing here. Here we have the share price prior to COVID, and then we have the crash for COVID. This COVID crash right here. So COVID crash puts it right here, and then we have the Fed printing money like there's no tomorrow, and interest rates at 0. So we have this gigantic run-up. And then everything starts crashing down and down and down. And here we are. So if you remove this block of time where everything was going haywire because of COVID and runaway money printing and 0% interest rates, what you have now is Amazon is essentially at its all-time high. And that may not be the strongest position from which to proceed. And I will switch back to the annual chart so we can proceed with the other metrics. The RSI is edging into overbought. Stochastics are also well into overbought. And they're both look like they're starting to turn. The volume chart has more green than red lately, although there are several red days in there. Doesn't look like the volume is above average, though. It just looks like there's been more buying than selling. And that can certainly be said with the other Magnificent Seven stocks, too. And the MACD is above 0. I certainly can't say that it has peaked or appears to have formed a peak. It does look like it's still rising. So take that for what it's worth. And if we move over to the fundamentals, we know Amazon fundamentally has some issues that are controversial. Some people like to say certain aspects of the business are the only parts that are profitable, and it appears that way on paper, although I've seen other analyses where if you delve in deeper, it's not entirely true. But whatever your particular viewpoint is, one thing I'm not sure of here, not sure that I agree with, is that Amazon is put in the department stores industry. And that seems odd because I certainly do not think of Amazon as a department store. And it feels strange to have Amazon compared to department stores. So the metrics for comparison that we have here may not be the best metrics to compare. However, one thing I think we can all agree on is that this PE ratio over 300 is astronomical. I mean, that is just unbelievable. And I checked a couple other sites, and they're all pretty close to the same number. So, 297, 302, 299. Given that huge a number, it's fairly, the differences are relatively inconsequential. So I will leave the comparative metrics here on the screen. If you choose to stop and look at them, that's up to you. You're certainly welcome to. But like, for instance, here, the growth rate, it says Amazon's growth rate is less than 67% of its peers in the department stores industry. I don't really have confidence that comparison is worthwhile, because I don't see Amazon as a department store. There are other businesses, certainly, that are, I would say, miscategorized and are lumped into the same department store industry with Amazon. One of them, for instance, being eBay. eBay is also lumped in there with Amazon as a department store. Why? I can't tell you, but it is. So in any case, my point here is these metrics for comparison that I usually use may not be all that helpful in this case. So I'm simply going off the technical indicators here that we are at a peak. This peak does look like it might be set for a pullback. Now, I'll have to stipulate that I like Amazon as a company. I do own shares, and I don't know if I'm ready to sell my shares yet. However, this, I'd have to say, may not be the worst time to sell. But really, I'd like to know what you think. So please put those comments in the proper place below. And if you got something out of this video, if it provoked something for you to think about, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe to help out the channel. If you like these brief overviews of companies that might be good swing trades, please leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. Or if you prefer to tell me how wrong I am, you certainly may not want to sell Amazon. And I should stipulate, I'm simply saying you may want to take some profits on Amazon, not that it's time to dump the company completely. And I would certainly be looking for the proper point to get back into Amazon if you did choose to sell your shares here. But in any case, again, leave any comments below. And if you'd like me to take a look at a particular company using these technical indicators, just mention that in the comment section and I'll get to it as soon as I can. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and good luck with all your investments.